6 straight losing seasons, 7 straight non-playoff seasons, 6 head coaches, 13 starting quarterbacks. All of that crap is over, Broncos country. The past 8 years of misery is finally over. For the first time since the 2015 season, your Denver Broncos have clinched a playoff berth following their 38-0 defeat of the Kansas City Chiefs today. The Denver Broncos are finally in the big dance. Just bringing in the NFL playoff picture here to make it official. Look, the Denver Broncos have clinched the 7th seed in the AFC. They will now travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills next Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will discuss this upcoming matchup with the Bills throughout the week, but tonight is not the night to do that. Tonight is the night that we celebrate all of the years of misery for the Denver Broncos finally coming to an end. And in this game against Kansas City, we've talked about how the Broncos have had some struggles getting up to fast starts this year. And in this game, the Broncos did a great job getting off to a fast start. Their first 3 offensive possessions ended in touchdowns. Their 4th offensive possession of the first half ended in a field goal. So every single time they touched the ball in the first half, they scored. They only punted twice in the game. That was their first possession coming out of halftime, and then they punted on their final offensive possession when the game was already decided. They were already up 38-0. They were already going to the playoffs by that point. The Broncos played a physical, aggressive brand of football today, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They beat the living snot out of a bunch of backups, and I'm very happy to say that Bo Nix had a very strong day today. That was apparent to anybody who watched the game. He was 26 for 29 through the air, 321 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, a rating of 152.4, and a QBR of 97.3. Holy smokes, Broncos country. Couple of those touchdown passes were off of swing passes and screens, but still, Bo Nix made multiple high-level throws today. He put his team in a position to win this game. Bo Nix was awesome, and it just further confirms that the Denver Broncos have found their franchise quarterback. He also had 7 carries for 47 yards through the air. He was once again the leading rusher for the Denver Broncos. This time they actually win a game where Bo Nix is the leading rusher. Jaleel McLaughlin, 16 carries for 39 yards. Not a great day from him. The run game for the Broncos continues to have its issues, but in this game in particular, it looked like Sean Payton wanted to put the pedal to the metal early and often. The Broncos came out with a heavy passing game plan, and it worked. They were able to keep the pedal to the metal throughout the entire first half, and the game was pretty much already sealed by the time we hit halftime. It was 24-0 at halftime, and the Chiefs couldn't get anything going by that point, so you knew that by the time it hit 24-0 at halftime, you were feeling pretty good, and then once they went up 31-0, it was over. That's when it was absolute bedlam out there at Mile High. Everybody was super excited because they knew what it meant. They knew that the Denver Broncos were going to the playoffs. Courtland Sutton, he hit his incentives today. He is now over 1,000 yards for the year, 5 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown in the game. Marvin Mims, 2 touchdown catches. He was sensational. 5 catches for 51 yards. Had that play on the screen where he broke free for a touchdown. Really awesome stuff. Devon Vele also had a touchdown catch. Javonte Williams, 3 catches for 50 yards. Bo Nix made that really cool play to him where Bo was running for what probably would have been a touchdown, but he saw Javonte Williams was right next to him, and he lateraled him the ball. Unfortunately, it was a forward lateral. It was very close. It looked like it was right on the edge, but they did rule it ultimately a forward lateral, and that play didn't count. That was easily the coolest play of the day, but still, man, the Broncos, Nick Bonito came out 2 sacks on the day. Jordan Jackson had a sack. Jonathan Cooper had a sack, and if I'm not mistaken, that put him over double-digit sacks on the year. John Franklin Myers with a sack as well. I mean, this Broncos team came out and they played about as well of a game as you could ask. They completely shut down Carson Wentz and company. Wentz 10 for 17, 98 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. They couldn't run the ball either. The Chiefs couldn't. Carson Steele was their leading rusher, 8 carries, 25 yards, 3.1 yards per carry. However, they didn't really have a whole lot of possessions in their own right. The Broncos won the time of possession battle, especially in that first half. Let's go ahead and see what the final time of possession battle here is. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, the Broncos completely dominated the time of possession battle. 41 minutes to only 18 minutes, so the Chiefs were barely on the field. The Broncos just kept their foot on the gas, and they never gave the Chiefs an opportunity to even get in this game. Sean Payton knew what the stakes were for this game. He knew that if you lose, there is no coming back next week. There is no redeeming yourself. This was a win and in game for the Broncos after the Bengals won yesterday, and the Broncos took care of business. They have punched their ticket to the playoffs for the first time since the 2015 season. It's been a roller coaster, Broncos country, and I know that a lot of people outside of Denver are saying, yeah, the Broncos are just going to go up to Buffalo and they're just going to get blown out, so why would they even want to make the playoffs anyway? I'll tell you why. Because this has been 8 years of misery for this fan base. They have gone through so much. So much. I think about my time even before I started covering this team when I was just a fan, and I fell in love with the game of football in 2015, the Super Bowl 50 season. I had been a Broncos fan since age 6, but I didn't really start watching football like that until the Super Bowl 50 season. This is the first time where I can really relish and enjoy a Broncos playoff berth. This is the first time where, to be honest, I actually can appreciate it for what it is. During the years of the Peyton Manning era, I was so spoiled. I just thought that was the expectation going into this every single year. And these past 8 years really will humble you. And after having to go through that, this is the light at the end of the tunnel that we've been waiting for so long. This is the step in the right direction that the Denver Broncos needed to take in year 2 under Sean Payton. If you had told me coming off of that 5-12 Russell Wilson, Nathaniel Hackett season when they had first hired Sean Payton, that the Broncos in the second year of the Sean Payton era would win 10 games and would clinch their first playoff berth since the Super Bowl season and most likely find their franchise quarterback, yeah, I think I would have taken that deal every single time. This rebuild is going, honestly, ahead of schedule now, and Sean Payton, he definitely deserves to be Coach of the Year. All of this outside noise, Sean Payton hate, I think we can put all of that to bed now. He took a team with a rookie quarterback, the largest dead cap hit in NFL history, a roster that a lot of pundits said wouldn't win more than 3 or 4 games on the year. He took that team to the playoffs, Broncos country. I don't care what happens after this game. I really don't. I don't care if the Broncos go into Buffalo and get gobsmacked. I don't care if they don't score a single point in Buffalo. The Broncos made the playoffs this year. That was their big goal, and they achieved it. All right, Broncos country, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs.